Big moves are shaking up the AI world this week, and it's one of those moments where the landscape feels like it's shifting in real time. OpenAI just rolled out Codex inside ChatGPT. Manus AI is making waves in image generation with results that actually feel smart. Google is revealing more about its search roadmap, and Anthropic is quietly preparing what looks like their most significant Claude upgrade to date. It's a lot to unpack, so let's dive in. All right, so let's get into Codex, OpenAI's new software engineering agent that just dropped as a research preview. If you're using ChatGPT Pro, Team, or Enterprise, you've probably already seen it pop up in the sidebar. Codex works more like a full-stack dev running inside a secure cloud-based sandbox. It operates entirely within its own isolated environment. No internet access, no external APIs, nothing leaking out. You just connect it to your GitHub repo, and from there it starts handling actual engineering tasks without needing constant supervision. You can throw it tasks like writing new features, fixing bugs, running tests, cleaning up messy code, or even digging through your codebase to answer specific questions. It spins up a virtual environment, loads everything in, and then handles the task from end to end. That includes setting up and running tests, applying linters, checking types, the whole routine. And the best part is you can watch it work in real time. Terminal logs, test results, status updates, they're all right there so you always know what's going on. The model running behind all this is Codex 1, which is a specialized version of OpenAI's O3 fine-tuned specifically for software development. They didn't just train it on general-purpose data. They used reinforcement learning on real coding tasks, pull request patterns, and team workflows. The result is a model that writes clean, structured code, understands project layouts, and mirrors the way human engineers actually work. In internal benchmarks, it hit 75% PAS-01 accuracy on Swibench-verified tasks. That's a noticeable jump over O3 High, which landed at 67%. And what's nice is it doesn't need a ton of configuration to be useful. Sure, you can give it agents, MD files to help it navigate your repo more efficiently, but even if you don't, it still figures things out. It respects your architecture, follows your naming patterns, and can juggle multiple tasks without stepping on its own toes. Once Codex finishes whatever you've assigned, it doesn't just give you some output and call it done. It commits the changes directly within its sandbox and includes logs and references so you can trace exactly what it did and why. From there, you've got options. You can review the output, make tweaks, turn it into a pull request, or pull it down locally and keep working from there. If you prefer working from the terminal, Codex CLI is probably the better fit. It's the open-source version you run locally, and now it uses Codex Mini by default. That's a smaller, faster model based on O4 Mini, optimized for low-latency workflows. It's great for everyday tasks, renaming variables, writing test cases, refactoring functions, stuff that takes time but doesn't require deep focus. You can leave it running in your terminal, almost like a quiet assistant who's always ready to help out when things get repetitive. For API usage, pricing is pretty straightforward. Codex Mini costs $150 per $1 million input tokens and $6 per $1 million output tokens. Plus, there's a 75% discount on cached prompts, so if you're repeating similar tasks, the costs drop significantly. Codex is part of OpenAI's push to turn ChatGPT into a workspace built around task-specific agents. There's Operator for browsing, Sora for video, Deep Research for analysis, and now Codex for software development. Access to Codex is generous for now, though rate limits are coming. The idea is simple. You assign real coding tasks and Codex handles them while you stay focused. It's built to feel like part of your team, understanding your project, following your standards, and quietly taking care of what slows you down. All right, now while OpenAI keeps expanding its agent lineup inside ChatGPT, over in China, something wild just happened. Manus AI, the autonomous agent from Monica, also known as Butterfly Effect AI, has introduced an advanced image generator that is on a completely different level. And it's not just another model that turns prompts into pretty pictures. It's a full-blown visual problem solver built right into an autonomous agent framework. Let's say you ask it for a modern Scandinavian living room. Manus won't just throw together random furniture. It first analyzes your intent. Are you designing a catalog, creating ad visuals, or drafting a room layout? Then it builds a strategy. It uses layout engines to arrange space, style detectors to match the look, and browser tools to pull design trends or brand guidelines. It might even select real IKEA furniture, consider spatial relationships, apply color theory, and ensure everything fits the purpose. The system is built on a multi-agent architecture where separate modules handle planning, execution, and verification. They run independently but collaborate like a design team, allowing Manus to work through complex workflows, not just one-off prompts. That's why it can deliver things like product campaigns, architecture mockups, or platform-ready visuals, all consistent, brand-aware, and usable. It's already being tested for e-commerce product visualization, marketing content, and even architectural planning like generating full interiors from blueprints. The big limitation? It's still in closed beta and available by invitation only. So, unless you're part of a select test group, you can't use it yet. Let's turn our attention to Claude. Anthropic's kept a low profile lately, but behind closed doors, they're clearly working on something big. Multiple internal leaks hint at a new model, potentially called Claude 3.8 or even Claude 4. Mysterious names like Neptune have shown up in config data. And yeah, Neptune being the 8th planet probably isn't a random choice if it ties into versioning. Officially, they've denied the speculation after that "win 4 months of mass" contest went viral. But seriously, there's too much back-end activity to ignore. One notable leak even featured internal tools showing censored model titles and clever Easter eggs hinting at what S next. Plus, the information confirmed Anthropic is preparing new versions of both Claude Sonnet and Claude Opus. The big thing with this new wave of Claude models is what Anthropic calls true agentic behavior. That means the model can switch autonomously between reasoning and acting without user prompts. It doesn't just generate an answer in one shot. It breaks down the problem, builds a plan internally, then switches into action mode to call tools, search data, or run code. If something goes wrong mid-task, it backtracks, rethinks, and tries again. That is a real agent, one that reasons like Gemini, but potentially with more precision in task delegation. And this actually mirrors what OpenAI's O3 model already does inside ChatGPT, where it can browse, run code, and iterate before showing you the final result. But Anthropic's take might offer better transparency or control depending on how they deploy it. For example, with the upcoming Claude update, developers might see the full breakdown of thoughts, tool calls, and revisions in the background, not just the polished final response. And they're not stopping there. Anthropic is also investing in making these agents work better with complex toolchains, possibly building integrations with search, databases, and APIs, all inside one flow. That's a direct response to what Google's doing with its own AI mode inside search. CEO Sundar Pichai was recently on the All In podcast, and the big question came up: whether Google is being disrupted by ChatGPT, Perplexity, and other AI-native tools that are rapidly eating into traditional search behavior. Pichai didn't seem rattled at all. His take was that disruption isn't inevitable unless you ignore it. He sees it more as a shift, one that Google is actively adapting to rather than resisting, and the metrics prove they're gaining traction. Over 1.5 billion users have interacted with Gemini-enhanced AI overviews within Google Search. These aren't just quick blurbs or highlights. It's an embedded AI layer built right into search results, designed to provide richer context, handle follow-up questions, and cut down the need to jump through several sites. It uses Google's way of retaining users while offering an experience that feels more like an AI conversation. But that's just the beginning. Google is gearing up to debut something called AI Mode, a feature that will transform search into a fully conversational platform. It's no longer just about typing in queries and getting results. You'll be able to pose a question, get a thoughtful reply, refine it with more input, and explore deeper insights, all within the same interface. Essentially, search will become a Gemini-driven assistant with multi-turn memory. And this is a long-term plan. It's confirmed and set to be revealed in detail at Google I/O. That said, Google's dominance isn't guaranteed. Apple has hinted it might swap out Google Search in Safari for a more AI-focused alternative, possibly developed in-house or through a partner like OpenAI. A change like that could seriously impact Google, especially on mobile, where Safari commands huge market share. When that news broke, Google's stock took an immediate dip. Clearly, investors grasp the potential consequences. Still, Pichai is no stranger to disruption. He noted that similar doubts emerged when mobile search gained momentum, and again when TikTok began capturing younger users' attention from YouTube. In both scenarios, Google responded, adopted elements from competitors, and sustained their key platforms. Now, Pichai is counting on doing it again, this time by evolving search into something more intuitive, interactive, and valuable than any current AI chatbot. So, while yes, Google is under pressure, especially from Apple and OpenAI, they're not standing still. They're building, integrating, and reshaping how search works to stay relevant in an AI-first world. Now, the question is, with Claude, Gemini, Codex, and Manus evolving fast, who's actually building the smartest agent right now? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like if this gave you something to think about, and subscribe if you want to stay ahead of where all this is going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.